Staying here, though, in Ottawa for a moment, and a story that we've covered often on this show, the federal government is facing renewed pressure to repatriate suspected Canadian ISIS fighters detained in northeast Syria. Humanitarian organizations say these Canadians are facing deplorable conditions and that Canada should facilitate their return to this country. The Prime Minister has so far resisted those calls, pointing to a lack of diplomatic presence and means in Syria. Human Rights Watch says there are 47 Canadians, including 26 children, currently detained there. We heard from a pair of experts earlier this week about why they think the government is obligated to repatriate the detainees. Let's bring in another perspective. Andriy Bazelevsky's brother, Misha, was just 22 years old when he was killed in the 2016 ISIS attack in Nice, France. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for making time for us.
Thank you very much, Vashi, for having me.
I'm glad to have you on the show. You reached out to me after we did a segment a few days ago on the possibility of the Canadian government repatriating people who have gone over to fight with ISIS and some of the kids that they've had over in northern Syria. They're being detained there right now. I wanted to get your perspective because you've personally been affected by terrorism. Can you tell us how and about your brother?
Yeah, so thank you, Vasi, for having me. In 2016, my brother was killed in a terrorist attack in Nice, France, and it happened on a promenade. Other 85 people lost their lives, and that was direct impact of ISIS because of the radical nature of that attack, and the individual who committed it was radicalized by ISIS. So my brother lost his life as well as other 85 people, over 200 people injured. And so we're still dealing as a family with this very tragic matter. So Misha was, my brother Misha was my only sibling. And for me, losing my brother obviously was a very, very, very bad event in my life. But at the same time, it enlightened me what life was all about, and it made my life completely different. It changed my life. It changed the life of my family. So greatly miss my brother.
He was just 22. Misha was just 22 years old when he was killed, correct? He was a student in Edmonton at Grant MacEwan. What was he like?
Well, Misha was a very entrepreneurial individual. He participated in many projects with Grant MacEwan. A lot of people knew him around university, and the school he loved. He loved studying for Grant MacEwan. And so what happened is he won a trip to go to Nice, France for 3 weeks to participate in European Innovation Academy, where children from all over the world, or students, assemble. And what they do is they come up with these ideas that actually shape our lives as society. And so don those ideas, find investors, and they get implemented into life. And so that's what Misha won. He competed in Grant MacEwan, 4 other students got picked as well to go. He was very happy, and he very much liked Nice, and that the event was taking part in Nice. Yeah, he applied to Tesla to work in Tesla. He worked in Suncor, Lake Wabamun coal mine. Now it's closed, but Misha has done very successful projects there during his 4 months of employment with them. Very bright individual.
He sounds like it. Based on your experience and losing him, you had you had sort of a gut reaction to this proposal, this idea that the federal government should repatriate those Canadians who are detained in Syria. What was your reaction?
Well, my reaction when I heard it, and again, I only heard part of it. I don't know the full story, but when I heard that they're actually thinking of repatriating people, I don't know all of the details. My understanding, there's some children involved and women, and definitely that changes the perspective. But I don't know. I picked up the computer and I wrote the email. I wanted to voice my opinion because it directly impacted my family, and ISIS killed my brother. And so I decided to reach out because I wanted to state what my thoughts as a citizen of Canada are.
And what are your thoughts? I guess why do you find that why are you in disagreement with that proposal?
Well, I think I wouldn't say I'm completely in a disagreement. There could be certain rules on how to bring them if we do have to bring them. They are Canadian citizens. But there should be a protocol. There should be a system. Just like we're dealing with the COVID situation, things had to be resolved on the fly by the government, and the government acted quick. Could have been done better, probably. With this is the same thing. We have to think when we bring them here, what's going to happen? How much is it going to cost? Should we bring the men? Should we bring children only or women only and children? To me, just the idea of paying through my taxes and my fellow Canadians also paying for this to rehabilitate someone is just let's put it in words, rubbing me the wrong way. It's just after what happened to my family, I just don't feel that I should be contributing to that rehabilitation, even though that they're Canadians. I feel that they gave up their right to Canadian citizenship, maybe not on paper, but morally when they went and they joined Caliphate, when they joined ISIS. I think they made that conscious decision. Now, obviously, children cannot do that, and I feel very deeply for the children. Children could have not made that decision to go, or whether they were born to Canadian citizens, those guys that left here. I don't know how to deal with that, but there is definitely no protocol, and the government really should be looking at, okay, do we legislate it before we bring them in? Do we propose to them, this is what is expecting you when you come to Canada, so they don't have this illusion, okay, well, that's going to be easy because now it's not comfortable there. And again, I don't know the whole scope of the situation. My understanding is that Kurdish forces or wherever they are held, they don't have the conditions or judicial system per se, but still, we as country, we should have something more legislatively, and not just leave it to the judicial system to figure it out, because as we know, there will be a lot of lawyers and everyone has a right to defend themselves, but then the judicial system would have to balance the interest of everyone, and then they'll pass the decision. Maybe later it'll become a law, but why not do it proactively rather than reactively?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because some of the experts we've spoken to say that if you were to repatriate them, then they would kind of have to face the law here, right? That they should face the law here. And I'm wondering if that would bring you any reassurance, for example, if you knew that when they were repatriated, they could be prosecuted here. Or do you want to see, I guess, more of a plan from the government about that?
Well, it would be nice if at least they spoke about it, and there is some sort of form of plan. I would love to see something in advance before they repatriate it. It would be ideal, knowing, of course, that there could be other external pressures on Canada to pull them back here. And there could be different rules for children, women, and the guys that actually made that conscious decision to go and join that. And in fact, I would be thinking forward, because we don't know what if someone, right now it's COVID time, so it's quite hard to leave the country. But we don't know at any given point in time, a radical can leave and go and join a terrorist organization. There should be sort of deterrent from them doing that by way of, okay, if you do this, then the repercussions are that. For those.
Okay, I'm out of time right now, but thank you very much for your time, Mr. Bazelevsky. It's a pleasure to have you with us, and I'm very sorry on the loss of your brother.
Thank you very much, Vasi.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.